So just been to see Ghostbusters Afterlife and absolutely adored it. I really did. Um, Lots and lots of tears in it as well, and but it's a really lovingly made film. It's yes, full of nostalgia, full of bits where you go, oh, that's that and that's that, but not so much that it upsets the flow of the film. And I think it really is the sort of perfect way, I think, to end. I say to cap off, I guess, the original Ghostbusters film career, or whatever you want to call it. Because the one thing I'd say is that there's no way, once you've, bless them, you see the boys at the end. Um, but looking at them, as great as they do look, they're in the 70s now. So unless you made a Ghostbusters 3 in the 90s, which is kind of when you should have really made it, then you're never going to get another sort of action movie or action comedy or whatever you want to call it with them again. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 existed in that time and were great. But this is great as well because it's all about, like, funny enough, the title in Germany is Ghostbusters Legacy, which is kind of more fitting in some ways than Afterlife here. But although it sort of features both, because it is about the legacy, it's about the legacy of the Ghostbusters, but about the legacy of Egon, legacy as a father, as a grandfather. And there's lots of things in there as well that really sort of hit home and kind of make a lot of sense as well. And the characters, not all are particularly brilliantly written, but the performances are great. Particularly Grace McKenna, she's fantastic. There's lots of laughs in it, despite what I think some reviews say. There is a lot of action in the second half. The first half is all about character, is all about story, and I just loved it. I really did. I think if you go in looking for something new, completely different, then of course it's probably going to disappoint. It doesn't do anything fantastically new with Ghostbusters, but that's not the point of it. It's there to hit upon the nostalgia. It really is, but it's not lazy with that. And I think that's the point, really. That's the main point, that it brings you that, and it brings you the things that happened before. But there's a point, and there's a reason why these things are happening. And they do go back to 1984, and they do go back to what happened previously as well. So there is a through line. It's not just, hey, we're going to do all this again. And I enjoyed some of the 2016 Ghostbusters film, but I didn't think the problem was that it was female or anything like that. I think there's fantastic performers in that film. But trouble is, I think, with the Paul Feig film, is that it's the improvisation, which just went on and on and on, which took a funny line and made it not funny. But mainly that trying to do a remake of something which is held so dear, it was always going to be problematic. And I always thought with that film is that if they'd started it in, say, Chicago or rather than New York, and had Ray or Peter or Winston at the start actually say, right, guys, here goes the key to your franchise, your new Ghostbusters vehicle and blah, 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 then you get rid of the Ghostbusters straight away. You get rid of that. You do fan service, you get rid of it, that's absolutely fine. And then you've got characters that can do whatever they like. But that was always going to haunt that. There was always going to be a problem. But there are things in that film which I did love. I love some of the ghosts in it. I think there's some great scenes in it as well. And there's some nice writing here and there. It's just slightly overtaken by the lack of editing. But anyway, that's that film. But I didn't hate it. And the good thing, I think, with any films, I've got to say, is that, if you love that film, great. If you hate it, great. Same with this film. If you love it, if you hate it, we've all got things that we love, we don't like. It doesn't destroy the original Ghostbusters. Same as if they, made a new Back to the Future. It's not going to take that away. You've always got that. I always say that if you've got, when the new Batman films come out, that kind of thing, people go, oh, I don't like that. I don't like so-and-so as Batman, and he wasn't very good, and why are they doing that? If you look at the comics, you've got hundreds of Batman titles all over the place, different Batman, set in different times and periods, male, female, whatever. Same with Superman, all these kind of characters as well. The whole point is that you choose one that you like. and that's fine. There are different writers, different artists, different stories. That's all it is at the end of the day. There's different stories. If you don't like Ghostbusters Afterlife, brilliant. If you love it, fantastic. Whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, not everything's going to be for you. But I did love it. And I think it was a perfect tribute to Harold Ramis and what they did, and how they brought him back on screen. Really well done. Anyway, been rambling on, but I absolutely loved it. So it's 10 lemons out of 10 lemons for me. Thank you.